Hello and welcome to What the F Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditas. Let's get to it. It's Friday, October 8th, 2021. Welcome to day 262. Joe Biden rejected Trump's request to assert executive privilege over records related to the January 6th attack on the Capitol. In a letter to the National Archives, the White House said Biden determined that an assertion of executive privilege is not in the best interests of the United States. Trump had claimed executive privilege in an attempt to shield documents that were requested by the House Select Committee about his and his aides' activities during the January 6th attack. Meanwhile, a new report from the Senate Judiciary Committee found that Trump directly asked the Justice Department on 9 separate occasions in December and early January to undermine the 2020 election results. The report on Trump's efforts to overturn the election found that he tried replacing then acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen with Jeffrey Clark, a DOJ lawyer who supported election fraud conspiracies and had indicated that he would publicly pursue Trump's baseless claims of voter fraud. During a January 3rd Oval Office meeting, Rosen, his deputy Richard Donahue, and another official warned Trump that all of the Justice Department's assistant attorneys general would resign en masse if he followed through with his plan to replace Rosen with Clark. White House counsel Pat Cipollone and his top deputy, Patrick Philbin, also threatened to quit. Cipollone called Trump's plan a murder-suicide pact. Steve Bannon, meanwhile, is refusing to comply with a subpoena and will not cooperate with the House Select Committee investigating January 6th. Bannon cited Trump's claim of executive privilege, saying, "We must accept his direction and honor his invocation of executive privilege." After Bannon informed the panel that he would not cooperate, the committee threatened to pursue criminal contempt of Congress charges against him. The committee has subpoenaed documents and testimony from Bannon, as well as Dan Scavino, Kash Patel, and Mark Meadows. The four were ordered to turn over documents related to the January 6th attack by October 7th, which was yesterday, and to sit for interviews by October 15th. Trump has directed the four men to ignore the subpoenas. Moving on, the Senate voted to temporarily raise the debt limit by $480 billion. The amount that the Treasury Department estimates will allow the United States to continue paying its bills until December 3rd. The bill now moves to the House, which is expected to take up the legislation early next week. The 2-month patch overcame a Republican filibuster by 61 to 38 vote after 11 Senate Republicans joined with all Democrats in voting to end debate and move the bill to final passage, which only requires a simple majority. Meanwhile, a federal judge blocked enforcement of the new Texas law that bans nearly all abortions in the state after about 6 weeks of pregnancy. U.S. District Judge Robert Pittman said, "From the moment SB 8 went into effect, women have been unlawfully prevented from exercising control over their lives in ways that are protected by the Constitution." In his decision to grant a preliminary injunction, the judge called the law an offensive deprivation of a constitutional right. The opinion was 113 pages long, and it says Texas had contrived an unprecedented and transparent statutory scheme by delegating enforcement of the law to private individuals, who are entitled under the law to collect $10,000 in damages if they bring a successful suit against anyone who performs abortions or aids and abets them. The lawsuit was brought by the Biden administration and Attorney General Merrick Garland and called the order a victory for women in Texas and for the rule of law. Within about an hour of Pittman's decision, Texas filed a notice appealing the decision to the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. The outcome of that appeal will likely end up in the Supreme Court within weeks. And finally, Biden restored environmental protections to national monuments that had been stripped away by the Trump administration. Biden said that protecting Bears Ears National Monument, Grand Staircase Escalante, and the Northeast Canyons and Seamounts should not become a pendulum that swings back and forth depending on who is in public office. In 2017, Trump signed an executive order that downsized Bears Ears by about 85% and cut Grand Staircase in half. Biden joked that making the changes might be the easiest thing I've ever done so far as president. And in the polls, Business Insider says 84% of Trump voters say they're worried about discrimination against white people and think Christianity is under attack. 38% of Biden voters said they think anti-white discrimination is a problem and that Christianity is under attack. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditas.